69 seconds to go. Pennington tiptoeing backwards. Open. Catches over the shoulder. Caught. Touchdown. Lumberjacks. Oh, my.
That's a beautifully thrown football to the outside.
All right. Lumberjacks, they came out strong in the first half over Utah Tech, and then Utah Tech came back and made it a game, but Ty Pennington continues to impress. 229 yards passing, a rushing touchdown. He spread the ball around, and Coach Brian Wright joins us now from the Lumberjacks. Coach, as always, thanks for the time, and let's start with Ty Pennington and what stood out the most about how his poise was on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on, guys. He just showed great command, once again, whether it was under pressure, whether, he had to get into the third or fourth read in his progression, and whether or not he had to, take the ball and run, on a couple of plays that, just weren't there. And so he, once again, just does a great job of managing the offense and making the routine plays that end up usually turning into big plays at times.
Coach, watching him, he hits the layups. We take that for granted, but he keeps the chains moving. Your third down conversions have been excellent. But is it with the second year of your offense that he's comfortable with it? He understands it. You talked about his, running the football. When you look at him as far as 47 yards rushing and one touchdown, it's not just taking off. I guess when I watch him, it's understanding when to make a play and when to throw it or throw it away.
Yeah, he's a great decision maker. Again, like I said, just whether that's going through the progression or knowing when to tuck the ball and run when really nothing is there downfield. He's just, he's always been calm and cool back there, sitting back in that pocket. And even, this year, even seems more comfortable in there.
Coach, I'm sure you give him the leeway to check off and do a lot of things, but is he at the point now where he can come to you and make some suggestions of what he sees? Or do you guys have that communication of what do you see, what don't you see, what are you comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with?
Yeah, he has that leeway, certainly. He puts so much time into this, so much work. We have so much dialogue throughout the week within the game plan. So I have a feel early on in the week, what he really likes, what he's still not sure about. And so we tend to stick to those things in the game. We want him to have a great comfort level in the game. And he likes to check out of some of my plays. So he wants me to call him earlier so he has more time to get out of them.
That's a great line.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Just you and me talking right now, okay? My journalistic integrity has kicked in. You dominated the first half. Second half, defense went to hell in a handbasket. So I know how important it is and how difficult it is to win a game. And your team did get the W. Can you explain what happened in the second half? And if so, what did you say to your team then after the game?
Well, we've come a long way as a program here in just, under 2 years, because when we got in the locker room after the game, you could tell I didn't have to say much. Our team knew that we did not finish that ball game to our standard. Give Utah Tech a lot of credit. They played much harder than we did in the second half. We weren't ready to go finish the game. We were satisfied with the score of where it was at halftime, and certainly Utah Tech wasn't. They outplayed us. They executed better. They coached better. We just did not execute at a very high level at all. I thought we got comfortable. We stopped making some of the routine plays. We stopped just doing our job and hitting the layups, like you said earlier. They hit some big plays on us defensively. We were trying to establish our normal run game there in the second half, and still that wasn't going how we would like it to go. So, yeah, we were pretty frustrated at the end of that. with just not playing to our standard. Happy with the win, certainly. As you mentioned, they are hard to come by, and certainly that is the stat that matters most. But we've put a lot of work in this week to correct some things.
All right, so we always appreciate your candor on the show, so thank you for that. Is that a lesson then you believe now was well learned in preparation for Southern Utah?
Well, I certainly hope so. It's going to have to be. We'll have to play better to find success on the road this weekend versus Southern Utah.
And then you look at that, Coach, you talked about your running game. 162 yards total. Seth Cromwell really starting to get a feel. 4.5 yards per carry. What has been his confidence builder per se? Has it just been knowing the offensive line, being patient? Is there anything you've done with him in particular or the running backs to have the success on the ground game, at least via the first half?
Well, it starts with him and that room. That room of guys just put in the work in this offseason. They put in the work in the preseason. They compete like crazy every single day, just amongst themselves. And then we've done a better job really putting concepts into buckets where, we might have a new wrinkle to a play or something, but it falls in, just the core run scheme, like outside zone. We might have a couple different ways to run outside zone, but to those guys, it's the same. And so we've become much more consistent to who we want to be in the run game. And I think that's provided a comfort level for those guys.
And obviously they seem very comfortable with their rotation. If he needs a blow periodically, Cromwell needs a blow. You've got a couple, 2-3 other guys that are very viable. Has that been, as you mentioned, that running back room, somewhat of a mantra to them to be more cohesive this year, to understand that when your number's up or your time is up to go in there and produce?
I think so. It's always tough for those guys and anybody on offense. There's only one football that can go around, and they all want it. We've got 3 or 4 guys that definitely want it as much as they can get it in the running back room. And same goes at wide receiver. We probably have 6 or 7 all that deserve it, and tight end as well. So they're unselfish. They're team guys. And they know when their opportunity comes, they need to go in there and produce because that room is so competitive.
Coach, now the rivalry, the Grand Canyon rivalry trophy, people talking about that. I think that's kind of cool that there is that rivalry. And you guys haven't played since 2021. But talk about Southern Utah. I see that they are top 25 in both rushing and in passing. What's the biggest challenge when you're preparing for a team like that that's good on both sides of the ball?
Well, they're really good on both sides of the ball. They're really balanced on offense. They have the ability to run it and throw it. And it starts with their quarterback because of what he can do. I think it allows them to be balanced. And then they have an outstanding running back as well. And they've always taken great pride, as I've known them here just of late, just to be a really physical, tough, gritty football team. And they're coming off a tough loss. And so I know we're going to get the best version of them on Saturday.
And, Coach, when you talk about the Southern Utahs of the world, or let's just say the Big Sky overall, it seems as though the portal is working out well, too. You're seeing is for you guys as well, the size and speed of the athletes seems to me has really picked up. It's no longer the NCAA 2 type kid that's going to a lot of these schools. I look at Southern Utah. This is a big, fast team that you're going to be facing.
Yeah, it really is. I think that, many of the programs that are having success, they are obviously winning on the recruiting trail, and it's a tough trail out there. But the staffs that can find a way, to recruit the right guys out of the portal, which is also difficult because there's a lot out there that may not fit your program. Sure. But the key to it is finding the right guys, and I think they have, and we have, and the teams that are going to find themselves battling for that, that trophy in the end, and the FCS, they're going to definitely be programs that won a lot in the recruiting battle in that portal.
Coach, do you think you and your staff now have finally adjusted to the way things work within the portal? Are you guys now comfortable with what you have to do?
No.
Okay.
There's no comfort level dealing with this right now. It's ever changing. It's new. But that's a good question, because we have, within our recruiting department, within our staff, we have come up with a model that we feel is working for us and will continue to work for us. So the answer to your question is yes and no. We have a system in place, but man, hopefully that system will continue to work in the ever-changing world of this portal.
Coach, good luck on Saturday. We look forward to talking to you next week with a W.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having us again. Go Jacks.
That's head coach Brian Wright, NAU Lumberjacks. You can follow him on X, Twitter, Coach B Wright 4. Coach B Wright 4, as they got a tough one with Southern Utah this weekend. But I didn't know about this Grand Canyon.
I didn't either.
Trophy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, little rivalry renewed type of thing. I mean,
why not? If it's a reason to get your guys all pumped up,
I like it.
Let's do it. All right, Sun Devils. They battled in Starkville, but came up short. Now it's on to Texas State. We'll hear from Charlie Ragel, next, as we're live from Twin Peaks Camelback. We will catch up with him right after Laz gives us his first Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update.